बाबा कहते हो यही बच्चे मेरे ताज तुम्ही, नैन के नूर लाडलो मेरी आवाज तुम्ही, मेरी दुनिया में तेरे दम से उजाला है, तुम्हारे साथ का अनुभव बड़ा निराला है।
ओम शांति। अब दादी पूछती है, बच्चे पूछो, कोई बात पूछो तो दादी जवाब। दादी क्या सुनावे बताओ। जो बच्चे यहाँ कुछ पूछे, हाँ कोई सवाल हो पूछो, पूछ सकते। आत्मा भ्रिकुटी में क्यों रहती है बच्चा? अगर आत्मा नैनो में रहेंगी तो भी कहेंगे क्यों रहती है। सारे इस शरीर का जो मेन स्थान है वो भ्रिकुटी है। आपकी कहाँ भी पहले नजर पड़ेंगी तो यहाँ पड़ेंगी सामने। ये सारे शरीर का मूल स्थान है और इसलिए जो सारे शरीर का कंट्रोल मूल है वो भ्रिकुटी है। इसलिए आत्मा इस भ्रिकुटी के मूल स्थान पर रहती है, जहाँ से कहा कि सारे शरीर को सबको आत्मा का कंट्रोल हो जाता है, क्योंकि यहाँ से ही नजदीक नैन है, मुख है, हृदय है, दिमाग है, सब बिल्कुल यहाँ नजदीक के मुख्य अंग है। तो यहाँ से उनका बहुत नजदीक से कनेक्शन है, इसलिए भ्रिकुटी में रहते। और देखो बिंदी भी लगाई जाती, भ्रिकुटी में लगाई जाती। भ्रिकुटी के बीच चमकता है तारा। भ्रिकुटी का बहुत महत्व है। आप जब योग में भी बैठेंगे बिल्कुल आपको लगेगा कि जैसे कि मैं भ्रिकुटी में बैठी हुई हूँ। दूसरे कहाँ जगह का इतना टेंशन नहीं जाएगा, इतना भ्रिकुटी को देखो और भ्रिकुटी पर बैठो। तो इसका मूल स्थान ही भ्रिकुटी है। यहाँ हृदय विद्या तो सब अंग है, परंतु निवास स्थान इसका है। आप देखेंगे और जल्दी सब अंगों पर चोट लग जावे, कुछ भी इधर उधर, लेकिन यहाँ तकलीफ कुछ कम होती और सभी भी अंगों में जल्दी कोई न कोई तकलीफ हो जावे। पर भ्रिकुटी एक ऐसा स्थान है जहाँ जल्दी आप देखेंगे कि तकलीफ नहीं होती। ये सेफ स्थान रहता है, मूल स्थान है, समझा। इसलिए भाई उनका भ्रिकुटी का स्थान, दृष्टि यहाँ से बिल्कुल समीप है। पूरी दृष्टि आत्मा की नजदीक होने से यहाँ नजदीक पड़ती है। तो इसलिए योग के टाइम भी अटेंशन ऐसे ही जाता है जैसे कि भ्रिकुटी के बिल्कुल सामने में अटेंशन चला जाता।
निराली शान है, दिल तख्त पर हमें रख लिया, खुद से ऊंचा मान देकर नाम दिल पर लिख लिया। ताज तख्त और तिलक की हमको अमर जागीर दी, ताज तख्त और तिलक की हमको अमर जागीर दी, जिंदगी जीने की हमको एक नई तदबीर दी, आपने बाबा हमें।
Om Shanti. Become an embodiment of success, humble-hearted, constructive, and pure nature. You will become a star of success when you do not have any ego about your own success and you do not speak about it. Do not blow your own trumpet, but to the extent that you are successful, be just as humble-hearted, humble, and have a pure nature. Others may sing your praise, but you always sing the Father's praise. Such humility will easily enable you to carry out the task of renewal. Until and unless you become humble, you will not be able to carry out the task of renewal. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avikti Parivar. Today's day 17. Become an embodiment of success. Today's topic: humble hearted, constructive, and pure nature. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. Everyone is okay, happy. It's very, very important. To keep ourselves okay, we have to be happy. But Dadi Gulzar used to say, whatever happens, but we should not lose our happiness. So I'm sure you all are happy. Most favorite attainment of everyone is success, right? Whatever we do, we want to see we are successful. When you grow or cultivate something, and when you see the fruits, right, you feel very happy. I have seen people getting happy even when they start getting little flowers, or they see that the tree is growing and becoming full of fruits naturally. It's success, right? So there is happiness. In doing everything, there should be success. But sometimes there are certain things we need some inculcations. And if we have those qualities, then it becomes like you will be successful. So those three qualities for homework is humble-hearted, constructive, and pure nature. So let's see what Baba is saying it. You will become a star of success when you do not have any ego about your own success and you do not speak about it. But how do you describe then your success, right? Without ego. Actually, when we tell them our experience of how we were able to use egoless stage, which helped us, it's not your own praise, but it's to inspire others. That I had this situation, but how did I overcome? Which virtue I used? So there are two things. No, one is ego, Other is self-respect. In self-respect, you always see your success. You experience success, right? So that's what it is, that do not have any ego about your own success, and you do not speak about it. Do not blow your own trumpet, but to the extent that you are successful, just be humble hearted and also constructive and have pure nature. Because in Hindi they use 3 words: Namrachit, Nirman, and Nirmal. Pure nature. It's like for water, they say very cool and nice water. So others may sing your praise, but you always sing Baba's praise. I think we all experience that whatever success I have or I am able to do is because of Baba. Baba's drishti, Baba's love, Baba's power. Baba has given me that I am able to give. Each one of us look at in this unlimited drama a huge part, right? Part which is very special. So Baba is saying, always sing Father's prayer. Such humility will always easily enable you to carry out the task of renewal. Any matter is there. It's not right, but to make it right. There is saying, Bigri ko banane wala. Even for God they sing, it's only one Baba. And we also have to follow that whatever is not working, we make it work. So Baba says such humility will easily enable you to carry out the task of renewal. Until and unless you become humble, you will not be able to carry out the task of renewal. That means the success, which is very important quality. Because if you do something and you're not successful, you will be disappointed and you won't be able to do it. So that is why I feel that for success, use each virtue. And they all are very connected with each other. If you have one, you will get other one, and because the dharana of these virtues are very interconnected. Because when you are humble, it won't take you time to be what you have to be. Whether feeling humiliated or ego takes you time to understand what I need to be. So that is why the success is when you apply that dharana. Not only you know it, you think about it, but in practical do see how it helps your intellect to decide what I should be doing. You will never be confused. So that is why I like very much that sing Baba's praise, and you will always be able to carry out the task of renewal. And that is the success we have. So we have to churn this point, we have to reflect and also use it. Life can become really entertaining and very interesting if we keep applying something something new, something different, something special will happen. And that is your success also, right? Okay, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Avyakti Parivar. So you heard Sister Mohini speaking on tomorrow's Avyak signal, and I'm not having a chit chat with her this evening because she is leaving Madhuban to go to Delhi on her way back to New York. So she will be here next week. She will be here later this week, actually, because we've begun the week. Today is Sunday. So you all must have been enjoying what she was saying, but also enjoying World Meditation Hour, right? You remember what we had to do for World Meditation Hour? We had to sit with Baba in the subtle regions, right? We had to be combined in the incorporeal stage and in the Avyak stage, and then we had to radiate to souls. And the Kumars were messengers of peace, and the Kumaris were merciful. And so he was even saying what it is we needed to radiate. So did you do that? Did you remember to do that in your World Meditation Hour? Did you experiment with what Baba is saying? Because he says it is these two, the incorporeal and the Avyak, to the angelic. If we keep practicing it, we will become like Baba. We will become like Father Shiva, and we will become like Brahma Baba. And so, because we are so full of Bap Dada and so full of serving the world, being connected to Bap Dada, we should be very, very happy, right? So how can we measure success? Sister Mohini was talking about success. We have to grow and we have to cultivate, and then we have to measure this success. But as I was listening to her, I felt two things she said. If I'm really successful as a Brahmin, there are three things the soul would feel. The soul would feel happy, the soul would feel joyful, and the soul would feel blissful. And in today's Murli, Baba was talking about the swings, that your foot would not touch the mud, your feet will not touch the mud, because you'll be swinging in these swings. So success means you will be in a highly spiritual stage of happiness, of joy, of bliss that transcends the mud, the dust of everything else and of everyone else. And the second aspect is, how do I describe that success? If I have experienced something so profound, then how do I describe it? It's very difficult to describe my own success. Of course, there will be ego, wouldn't there? Even the words I would choose, the first word I would choose to describe my success would be I. And the moment I say I, it's not success anymore, right? Because the I came in. So the way that I know I'm successful, I would be singing Baba's praise. It would be always, Baba did it. I don't know what happened. Baba just stepped in. Baba did it. It would be all Baba, 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 the way that Dadi Kumarka, Dadi Ji spoke. She always would say Baba, and she would always refer to herself in the third person. She wouldn't say I, she would always say Dadi did this, and Dadi did that, and Dadi did the other. And now I know why she wasn't using the word I. Because her success, she never took credit for it. She never described anything as her success. It was always her, the third person, Dadi, and it was always Baba who did it. So I feel that in measuring success, it is very important to know that an experience of the kind of success that Baba is telling us about is not a success that I could describe using the I or saying it was because of my qualities or my inculcation or anything connected to me that created a success. I think that success comes from how Baba makes me feel and how I praise him in return for making me feel about an action that I have done for world service. So I like what she said then. And then I also like what she said about being a star of success and knowing the difference between ego and between self-respect. And so these two things. So when I was preparing to talk to you a little bit today, I felt that, okay, how do I know that it is my ego telling me that I'm successful? And how do I know it's my self-respect telling me about my success? So if it is ego, I will attribute it to my skill, to my talent, to something that, to even my specialty that Baba tells me that I have, the gift that is innate within me that I have to give to the world. I will see success more connected to something like that. And then that would bring the ego out. But if I see success through my self-respect, then I'll remember Baba's words about self-respect. And he says, respect is something that is a God-given gift to you. You only experience your self-respect because God respected you. Now, I only experience my self-respect because God respected me. Now, that's a very important thing to understand, even with self-respect. I wouldn't have understood it as being something that I could have ever had the way that Baba describes self-respect. I couldn't imagine ever having describing self-respect in the same way, because there's a saying in the world that whatever we end up basing our identity on, it becomes our deity. So if I base my identity on my body, my gender, my religion, my culture, whatever it is I'm basing my identity on, it becomes my deity. It becomes the one I worship. If I base my identity on power, on money, on survival of the fittest, on controlling, then that becomes my deity. That's what I worship. So what Baba is saying, that if I base my identity on God giving me my self-respect, or God respecting me, then my self-respect will make me into a deity. It won't become my deity, but it will make me into a deity. So I really like this thing about ego and self-respect, and for us to go into the depth of it. But I would also ask you to do a few things when it comes to this word humility. Humility, Baba used 3 things that we're going to be churning on tomorrow when it comes to humility. One is humble-hearted. The other is constructive, that is creating a renewal in the work, that in the task with Baba, in Baba's task. And the third is a pure nature, nirmal. And so what is it? Let's start with a humble heart. They say that the human heart, living in the human heart is a fear. And that fear is of being seen as someone unimportant. as being worthless in the eyes of people, as thinking that our lives don't matter to those around us. And so in the deepest fear actually lies in our hearts. And that fear that lies in our hearts is the fear of not being recognized for who I am. And so in order for that to happen, the heart struggles a lot. The heart may want to do things. The heart may become jealous. The heart may become competitive. The heart may want to do things that people sees it through manipulations of various kinds. And so the heart is really seeking a recognition. And so a humble heart, the first thing the humble heart will do is to remove from within itself all those feelings of fear, of not being seen, of not being worthy, of not being recognized by others, of not being important enough to others. And so when Baba comes and Baba says to us, and he said it in today's Murli so beautifully, "O children, sit on my heart throne and stay on my heart throne." And when we do that, when we take up that position, then the heart begins to heal. And then the heart it begins to take its kind of being important, its worth, its being seen from Baba himself. And so the heart becomes a heart that is given to Baba as a gift. And then that heart is a heart in which all the fears are removed, because the soul sees itself as the most important thing to Baba. The soul sees itself through the eyes of Baba, so the soul gets back its worth. The soul becomes aware that it doesn't have to be fearful anymore, because once its heart is connected to God, who is the ocean of love, who's the ocean of mercy, who's the ocean of forgiveness, and there's nothing to be afraid of. God has seen me, God has recognized me, and I have become worthy in God's eyes. And that's when the heart becomes humble, because humility is connected to contentment. When there's contentment in the soul, then the heart becomes humble. And so remember that if I want a humble heart, if I want to become humble-hearted, I need to be content at the level of being worthy in the eyes of God, and that self-respect that I reclaim when God gives me respect. So tomorrow, in conclusion, well, I'll take another 5 minutes, but in conclusion, I want you to reflect on this tomorrow. When I'm thinking of success, when I'm looking at myself as a successful star, I want you to reflect on this. What is driving my success? Am I being driven to success, or am I being driven not to fail? So there are two things here. Am I moving toward being successful, or am I moving toward not wanting to fail? Right? Am I running away from something positive? So, sorry, am I running toward something positive? Or am I running away from something negative, from a failure? Now, a successful person, how do I know that I'm moving towards success? It's because I'll be moving toward what Baba is telling me to achieve that success. And I'll leave everything else behind. And I'll be moving in the direction that he's drawing me toward to be successful. If I am moving towards success because I don't want to be a failure, then I'm connected to failure. I'm not connected to what Baba is telling me, to those inculcations that Sister Mohini is saying, but I'm still connected to what is making me fail. And if I'm still connected to what is making me fail and I want to run away from that, then I wouldn't achieve the success. Because I'm not connected to success, I'm connected to the failure. And it's the same thing. If I am moving toward positivity, that is very good. But if I'm running away from negativity, from failures, then I'm connected to the negativity. So I want you to reflect on, what am I connected to as a star of success? And make sure you're not connected to what you're running away from, or what is making you fail. The other thing I want you to reflect on is, when we talk about success, it's measured in what we do. Right? It's always measured in what we do. You have a successful center because Baba's Bandara is overflowing. You have a successful center because you have so many students. You are a successful person because you have millions of followers. You are a successful person because you become a reference point for so many different people when they talk about things. And so it's always measured by what you do. So Brahmin life is not only about what we do. It is not only about how successful I am at what I do, because if my success is based on what I do and how successful I am at what I do, then I will begin to, in a way, doubt that success, because then I would have conversations with others maybe, and I would ask him, what do you think about what I do? How did you think that lecture went? How do you think others respond to what I said? So I want now justification from others. I want appreciation from others. And then you would say, well, on a score of 0 to 10, how would you score me on that lecture? How good do you think I did? And if they say, oh, that was a 9 or that was a 10, I feel great. I feel I was successful. But if they say, it was a 5 or below, then you go to bed so disturbed. So is that how you rate your success? And then if you go below that 5, then you may start for the next lecture that you have to give, or the next sharing that you have to give, you would start questioning your success. And then you would start off with what I said, rather than moving towards success of doing the best that you can and let Baba give it back to you, you would start saying, oh, the last time someone told me I did so badly, I was under a 5. And then what would you say? Well, what if I fail this time as well? What if I don't deliver in the way that I should? So that is when you are moving from not wanting to fail rather than moving toward success. And so that is something we have to watch in this whole game of being a successful star. How do I value success? Well, success is connected to humility, and humility is connected to contentment. Because the more humble I am, it's the more successful I will be. And the more contented I am, it's the more humble I will be. So I would leave you with this, that to be humble and to be successful means that the soul needs to have a high level of integrity. Integrity means that I should have my thoughts, my words, and my actions should be clearly aligned with each other. So what am I aligning in my thoughts, in my words, and in my actions? Baba told us today that the awareness we should have for next year is incorporeal, egoless, and viceless. So I should be incorporeal in my thoughts, egoless in my words, and viceless in my actions. And if I'm that, I am a star of success. I am a soul of integrity. If I'm that, people will praise the greatness of my humility, and I will be singing Baba's praise, and I will be swinging on the swings of happiness, joy, and bliss. Okay? So just reflect on those things for tomorrow. Treat humility as something deep within the soul, and this is what the world needs today. If there's a power that's going to shift this world in this time of great arrogance, it's going to be the power of humility. But we have to have a humble heart, a constructive humility, that renewal that humility brings, and we have to have a pure nature. Okay, Om Shanti, everyone.
Om Shanti, thank you for your sharing. And now, tomorrow is Monday, and our schedule from Amritwala 3:30 a.m. to 4:45 a.m. And then in the evening, we will have Patti start at 6 o'clock, followed by Hindi series, English series, and chit chat. So now let's remember Baba and take Drishti from Didi.
सफल कर लो सांसें अपनी, परम पिता को याद कर। सफल कर लो सांसें अपनी, परम पिता को याद कर। व्यर्थ न जाए जीवन अपना, व्यर्थ न जाए जीवन अपना, पल पल को आबाद कर। सफल कर लो सांसें अपनी, परम पिता को याद कर।
Om Shanti, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Didi. Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti.
Om Shanti Didi. Thank you Didi.
Thank
Good
you,
morning
Baba.
Didi. Om
Bye.
Shanti.
Bhumi
Om
Ji,
Shanti
Everybody
Didi.
have
Okay. Om
Om
Shanti
Shanti
okay
Didi.
परिवार. Thank you.
Bye.
Om
Shanti
Shanti
Didi.
everyone. Have a good night everyone. Thank you Baba.
Have
Thank
a
you Didi.
safe
Good
Om
morning,
Shanti
journey.
Didi.
Om Shanti.
Have a safe
Om
journey.
Om
Shanti.
Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Become an embodiment of success. Humble-hearted, constructive, and pure nature. You will become a star of success when you do not have any ego about your own success and you do not speak about it. Do not blow your own trumpet, but to the extent that you are successful, be just as humble-hearted, humble, and have a pure nature. Others may sing your praise, but you always sing the Father's praise. Such humility will easily enable you to carry out the task of renewal. Until and unless you become humble, you will not be able to carry out the task of renewal.
सफलता मूरत बनो, नम्र चित्त, निर्माण, निर्मल स्वभाव, सफलता का सितारा तब बनेंगे जब स्व की सफलता का अभिमान न हो, वर्णन भी न करे, अपने गीत नहीं गाए, लेकिन जितनी सफलता उतना नम्र चित्त, निर्माण, निर्मल स्वभाव, दूसरे उसके गीत गाएं, लेकिन वह स्वयं सदा बाप के गुण गाए। ऐसी निर्माणता निर्माण का कार्य सहज करती है। जब तक निर्माण नहीं, तब तक निर्माण नहीं कर सकते।